In our latest in-depth report on Mississippi's economy, we are taking you to the city of Greenville in the Mississippi Delta. The poorest region in one of the poorest states in the country has been working overtime to flip the script and position itself for an economic boom. Now, 12 News' Richard Lake has more on what those leaders are doing there to ensure that they're included in what the governor has been calling Mississippi's momentum.
Right.
Richard?
That's exactly right, Melanie. You know, the Mississippi Delta faces extremely harsh realities in economic and other opportunities, and the region is still healing very much so from the injustices of slavery and generational poverty. But today, the Mississippi Delta and its people say they're ready to be included in the economy of tomorrow. With some of the worst healthcare, education, and economic outcomes in the country, the perception of the Mississippi Delta has been largely based off of those realities. This data is something Justin Birch has had to combat when marketing the Delta to outside investments. As director of the Washington County Economic Alliance, he says recognizing what the region has to offer, in spite of its challenges, is crucial in bringing back economic growth.
We don't let the data stigmatize us. We don't let education in the Delta be used as a proxy for skills. And when we're talking about skilled labor, we have some of the best in the country.
The recent economic booms in neighboring states, Texas, Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas, oftentimes leave the Deep South with leftovers. Smaller investments have made their way to less tech-centered economies in Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana. Birch says this is changing.
The thing that they're lacking is energy generation. They have been siphoned up. So now we're seeing some of those tier 2 states in the South begin to get some of the economic wins. And I think Mississippi's really bared that out this last year with some major announcements.
During the 2024 legislative session, Governor Tate Reeves called 2 special sessions to allocate hundreds of millions of dollars of state funds into 2 projects: an electric battery plant in North Mississippi, as well as Amazon in Madison County. Delta lawmakers were quick to point out that the momentum Governor Reeves touts would be felt much greater here in the Delta. Once home to an array of industry, Greenville was once the 3rd largest city in Mississippi. Greenville's past successes have kept the city and its nearly 30,000 residents above water and secured some recent economic wins, mainly due to federal investments. But the city has never returned to what once was.
You can see the dirt turning. You can see a number of economic development projects. Why not us? If we are creating or contributing to the money at the top to send these economic development projects out, why not the person in the Mississippi Delta?
This has been a depressed and deprived area for quite some time, and the opportunities are here. This is a jewel that needs to be dusted off and put back in the ring.
The exclusion that Delta lawmakers feel from the state and the Mississippi Development Authority is not shared by all Delta players.
Amazon happened on a megasite. You're unlikely to ever have a megasite in the Delta because we all share a labor shed. And could we meet the demands of an Amazon? No. We're more concentrated a little bit on micro manufacturing. I don't think it's necessarily the state of Mississippi or the utilities have anything against the Delta. I think it's just more or less we have not found that right size sector or industry that would be perfect here.
What lawmakers and Birch want is equity in Governor Reeves' economic vision.
The only way we really can rid this region of poverty is through equitable economic opportunities.
Almost 20,000 acres out here that's available. So economic development could happen here.
How are we going to love on everybody? How are we going to include everyone in workforce development systems, post-secondary systems, and livable wage economies?
And Melanie, we'll have more on 12 News at 10. We'll see what else Greenville has to offer and how they say an investment into Greenville will uplift the entire Delta.
Oh, I'd love to see that happen. All right. Thank you, Richard. Good story. And we'll be back in a moment with more 12 News at 6. Stay with us. We continue with our in-depth reporting on Mississippi's economy with our most recent trip to the Mississippi Delta. 12 News' Richard Lake has more from the city of Greenville and why leaders there say they are prepared for major investments.
Greenville leaders aren't just asking for increased state investments to lay the groundwork for economic development. They're asking for more money to utilize what's already in Greenville. Bordering the Mississippi River, Greenville has long been the economic hub of the Delta, and they've been utilizing the Greenville port for decades.
It actually serves a three-state region where businesses operate. Greenville is fortunate in that it is a transportation hub. You have the connecting point of rail, truck, and water. First, you have to have manpower, and second, you have to have highly competitive transportation costs. We have that. Transportation advantages are great for certain types of industry.
Those industries are usually agriculture-based, but Greenville's existing infrastructure gives them a broad range of business to consider.
You're looking for someone who needs immediate port access. You're looking for someone who needs to do a lot of landings and takeoffs at an airport that's not going to be commercially busy as like Memphis or Jackson. So we have our assets here.
The Mid-Delta Regional Airport, formerly known as Greenville Air Force Base, offers one departing flight a day into Dallas. It's a commercially slow airport that also offers up state-of-the-art hangars and plenty of open space for potential development.
Greenville has a rich history of economic development and business industry, and this airport proves that. When you have over 800 acres available, why economic development couldn't fit here? Why couldn't we recruit some business to be here on just this site alone?
As the Delta continues to look for its perfect fit, economic leaders are making sure to take the Delta workforce into account.
We are, really looking towards a new era where we think through holistically, not only how we service industries, but how we service the people that are going to work for those industries. And these are the wages that we want them to make. These are the benefits we want them to have. This is the quality of life that we want them to have. And I think that we are beginning to incrementally make those changes to ensure that people can live the American dream.
One employee at Greenville's airport is hoping to reap the benefits of that approach soon. James Johnson is the maintenance supervisor for the Mid-Delta Regional Airport. The labor-intensive job has put Johnson in the hospital multiple times, and he's undergone numerous surgeries on his arms and shoulders.
I've hurt myself so much, and I'm getting old. I just need to do something different.
2 days after our interview, Johnson started a sales position at Baker Distributing in Greenville, offering him higher pay, better benefits, and more time with his family. A higher quality of life.
I like playing with my little daughter. I took her to a skating ring yesterday. I keep on out here tearing up everything. My wife gonna have to take her. I enjoy, spending time with my family. And I don't want to be laid up, crippled and all that. My family means more to me.
Reporting in Jackson, Richard Lake, 12 News.